Wonderful
Hello.
times. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Welcome to Fracture Online's Deaf AMA. That's a wonderful way of starting this day. Happy Friday, everybody. We hope you're having a wonderful week so far. As usual, I am your host for the day. My name is Kinsiel. I'm one of the community/social media managers here at Gamigo, and I am super excited for this stream as I am accompanied by three amazing men behind Fracture Online. We obviously have the one and only Arcahem, the Lord of the Demons, Lord of the Flies, the bringing of hell and all shenanigans. Say hello, my dear.
Hello, everyone. I'm Arcahem, and I'm, of course, your demon overlord. I'm excited to see everyone here, excited to bring this stream to everyone, and I hope you're all having a great Friday.
Most excellent. We have the one and only Wes, executive producer of good old Gamigo. Say hello, Wes. I think.
Happy Friday, everybody. Hope we're having a great day.
And of course, last but not least, the man who has made all of this possible, the creator, the one and only Jacopo, the great CEO of Dynamite Studios. Hey, hello.
Well, I guess I'm not the only one.
Well, no. You're the main guy.
One of the. Well, really glad. Hi, everyone. I'm really glad to be here back on screen. It's been a while since the last one. I really love when to do Q&As. So yeah.
Oh.
It has been quite some time since we had you here. We're super excited to have you back. Now, before we get immediately to the AMA, you guys, because I know you're all excited to know all the wonderful answers this gentleman have for you, let's talk a little bit about what Fracture has been doing in the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to leave Arcahem to let you guys know about it.
Absolutely. Thank you. So there has been a lot going on this month in Fractured Online. So I think we should start off to the main topic with what has been going on in Fractured, the roadmap. So on April 12th, we posted our roadmap where we outline the plans for Fractured for this year. And it's basically going to till release, and we have all the things planned, and it's all very exciting stuff. So, do we have anything maybe Jacopo? Do you have something to say about the roadmap?
I mean, I guess the roadmap itself is like quite high level. You know, there's some players who say that it's a bit too much high level, but I think that it's actually really like what most of the community has been asking for. Is to know exactly what is the time frame in terms of quarter of the year on when everything is going to be released. And now people know that Beastmen and Demons are close. You know, there's some people who thought that we will get Demons in 2025, but it's not the case. So that's I really hope that everyone is happy about the roadmap.
Absolutely.
It's really challenging, but doable.
Absolutely. And we're all in this wild ride to see Fracture Online get to that point where we're going to full launch. We're going to see all the planets in their glory, all the races. It's going to be very exciting. There's going to be a lot of things coming in the future, and we can wait to share all of them with you in the coming months, weeks, who knows.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that happened in Fractured very recently as well, on April 27th, we had the new patch, Hot and Cold, Day and Night Hot and Cold, where we introduce the temperature system. Very excited, adding a new level of challenge to Fractured Online, where you will have to face new harsh weathers, especially in Airhern, which is very cold in some areas. There's very dangerous ice monsters, a dangerous volcano, and you will have to get very prepared for that. In that as well, there's also the weather system, which, by the way, is currently disabled on live servers. They will be enabled as soon as possible, so keep an eye out for that next week, perhaps. Can we confirm next week?
No, it's very possible if QA doesn't find anything game breaking, it should be next week. Yeah, just a couple of minutes ago, I was running in as I was talking to you, I was running in the blizzards and the other storms of Aaron. So yeah,
magnificent. Can't wait to share the new weather system with everyone. But let's move on to the next housekeeping topic, bug reports. We all love bug reports. We need bug reports. It's what we have the close beta for. there has been a lot of bugs reported by you, the lovely community, and we have a lot of bug reports being handled every day. What we want you to know is where to report these bugs. You can go to the forums in the bug report section, or you can go on Discord. We have a special channel dedicated exactly and only to bug reports. Or if you don't want to go through bug reports, you can also get in touch directly with me, and I will be sure to get all the information from you and report it as intended. If you have any questions in regard to how to report a bug, always be sure to give as much information as possible so we can work as efficient as possible to get bugs fixed.
Awesome. All right, guys. It is time for us to ask the questions and hear the great answers you've been waiting for. So, without further ado, let's get to it. I'll start them. Yes. Okay, so
Many questions.
You guys went above and beyond. Thanks for that. We love it though. Okay, so question number 1. Is there any intention to add controller gamepad support to the game? I use a mouse and keyboard at work every day. When I relax in game, I prefer a PlayStation controller.
Okay, so the question is for me.
Yes.
Definitely. Not as of today. I mean, Fractured has been really designed about mouse and keyboard, and making it work with a controller is not simple. I mean, it's one of the things where I would say never, but as of today, it's not planned.
That's great. We are always seeing a lot of feedback about players wanting controller support. This is something we see all the time and can be considered in the future. You never know what the future may bring. Then I will do our next question. Will there be a change to the chat box? I find that global chat is full of banter and nonsense at times. Would be nice if I could choose which channel, guild, glover, etc. to leave open and which ones to close and ignore.
Yeah. So there were a lot of complaints regarding the global chat since we launched the beta. There are still, and then even a lot of the questions for this Q&A were about the chat. And I absolutely agree with the sentiment of the community here. The chat, sometimes I've seen it myself becoming really ugly. And honestly, there are many reasons. Currently, our chat is just a basic chat. It has that single global channel. There is a mess. I absolutely agree. We have plans for the chat, and they're pretty urgent, actually, in our priorities. First of all, we're going to most likely remove the global channel and replace it with specific channels, like a global trade channel, a global help channel where people can have questions, maybe a recruitment channel, and that's it, right? So these are specific channels for these specific topics, not for random chatting about the game or banter and so on. And we are going to add the possibility to decide what channels you receive on your client, so you can just mute the trade channel because you're not interested in people trading, or mute the help channel because you're mean and you don't want to help people. That's absolutely up to you. And and otherwise, it's it's going to be like that. And we're going to add the possibility to also mute single players. So client side mute list where it just won't show the messages of the players you don't like. And yeah, I guess that is going to be pretty much it for the first iteration of the chat improvements. But these are really the big things needed, right? Multiple channels, muting players. That's the thing. A better coloring also for messages in different channels. We're going to do some visual tweaks as well, but mostly that's the thing with the chat that people are requesting the most.
Very nice. And of course, if the chat gets ugly and you have a player report, of course they may not be handled at the moment. You cannot ignore and mute players. Always feel free to take your player reports to me directly on Discord, and we'll be sure to look at them.
Yeah. Also, we are ramping up. I mean, soon we're going to have moderators. We're going to have game masters. So yeah, it's coming soon, and that's going to be because of course some people will start crapping on the trade channel and bantering there because they really want to, and moderation is still going to be needed, and it's going to happen.
Exactly. Watch out for my demon army. It's coming.
All right, next question. I hope the angle of view can be rotated 360 with the middle mouse button, because there are some maps, trees blocks that view very much. Trees block the view very much. Sorry, I completely forgot the comma there. And I hope to mark little red dots on this small map. At least I know the enemy's location.
So the currently enemies on the minimap, no, not really. We don't like the idea so much unless they're really close to you. Maybe we'll see. As for rotating the camera, oldest question ever has been replied many times. The game is built around one specific camera angle, which is this camera angle. It's not something that we can do easily to make the camera rotating. However, we do have plans to improve the shaders of trees and other structures, so that changing the interaction boxes, and also make it so that if your character is behind a tree or another obstacle, the part of the tree or part of this obstacle, the tallest part, disappears. We do actually have the tech already. We just need to implement it. But we will do it. We will do it soon. There are some places where this is really, really needed. Like, I think I mean, if you play Fracture and you visited the area and the areas with the very tall buildings, traveling around there is really uncomfortable. But it's not because of the camera rotation, the lack of camera rotation. It's you would still be annoying even if you could rotate the camera. It's because of this. Like we are still missing the transparency feature for what is between the camera and your character. But that's also coming soon.
Great. Also, I may add that those locations where in Airhorn, where there's very tall buildings, those looks incredible. They're mysterious, and I love them.
Yeah, up to the point where your character goes behind one, and then the character is also mysterious and gone.
That is a great thing to see.
Right. Then let us do the next question. Will you please consider making good aligned people unable to be ganked, at least until Arboreus comes out? Are there any plans to add buffs to blue players? It seems currently we have blue players just get ganked by predatory red players. A buff would allow us to even the playing field. By buff I mean some sort of mechanic to insta-kill red players with some sort of lasso that sends them to jail instantly. I love the instant
okay.
lasso to jail.
That sounds like a bit too much of a buff, huh? No, I mean, we don't have plan to disable PvP on Syndasia before Arboreus is out. I mean, Arboreus is not so far away. You've seen the roadmap is planned for the for the summer of 2022, so summer of this year. So it's not so far away. Player killing is happening in the game, but not at a rate at which it was happening in the previous alpha test. Not the last one, but that was very, very small, but the previous one, when we actually introduced PvP, what was it called? The Spring Alpha. Yeah, Spring Alpha 2021. There was a lot of player killing. I've seen that there is less. Like even in the number of red players is a lot lower than it used to be. The times you get killed, it's as a blue player is way less frequent. Actually, I say blue player because of Ultima Line, but our good characters are not blue. But you get the point. And yeah, so as a good player, we play, me and the other devs, we do play in big secrecy, and we haven't been ganked yet. So yeah, it's very different from the Spring Alpha 2021 already. The red players already have a big debuff, which is that if they go all the way down to minus 10,000 karma, they lose all the equipment on death, while blue players lose no equipment on death, which is making most of the red players really upset, but that means it works. So yeah, I mean, they do already have this type of disadvantage. There hasn't been many sheriffs, like players used to call them, or bounty hunters in the game, but we're going to promote the bounty hunter style, lifestyle a bit, maybe in the future, so that we do actually see some bounty hunters in the game. Because yeah, as I said, right now not really many, only a couple, maybe literally in the whole server. So that's as soon as more people engage in that kind of activity, then there is also going to be make it even harder to be a criminal on Syndasia, as it should be. And as I've said, Arboreus is not so far away, so hang on in there. I mean, the situation is not as bad as it was in the spring 2021. I'm really sure of that.
Sweet. Can we have 2 new hotbars that is only for bandages and herbal remedies? Allow us to at least have 8 of the current hotbars for abilities.
No, there is no plan for that. I mean, it was having one single hotbar that is shared between abilities and items was a design decision that we took on purpose, right? Because we don't want. I mean, we want players. There's going to be a lot more items in the future. There's going to be builds based around items like potions or and so on. And we don't like we want players to decide if they put more skills or if they put more items. You know, it's a decision. Expanding the hotbar a bit, maybe we could do, but having a separate hotbar for items, most likely not. That being said, I know that some people are bypassing this by using having the inventory open and using scripts to click on the inventory and stuff like that. And eventually, we're not going to make it possible to use things like bandages from the inventory. We're going to make them hotbar only. So, yeah, that's no longer going to work.
Right. Will we be able to regain some resources when we destroy items in the future?
No, not really. Not planned.
You heard him. Break your items, nothing back.
Will an ability reset on purchase ever be available? Some new to game have bought abilities that are useless to their build. The ability system is not intuitive, nor truly explained in a manner that is helpful. It would be more beneficial if requirements, weapons, armor types for abilities was also taught during the tutorial.
Oh, okay. Teaching that in the tutorial, I mean, sure, we can improve that. And the tutorial, we do have some ideas on how to improve it. We also don't want to dump too many information in the tutorial because explaining that some abilities require light armor and very specific weapons and so on. It's likely something most players are not going to read, even if we put it in the tutorial. We are going to improve the book of knowledge, adding a section on game mechanics, where like an internal wiki where players can read. Still, there's always going to be players who buy the wrong skills. They buy the wrong abilities because they think it's useful, or they think it's nice, or they think it's powerful, and then they find out it's not. The thing is, if we allow players to throw away abilities and get back the knowledge points, that makes it just too easy. I mean, the idea is that you should visit the whole world to have enough knowledge points to get all your talent trees up and to get unlock all the abilities in the game. So this would counter the design of the knowledge system directly if you could just forget your abilities and get back the knowledge points. So that is most likely not going to happen.
All right. What is included in the crafting expansion package, which is coming in the autumn patch?
Crafting expansion. So one big thing is tier 3 armor and tier 3 weapons, which some you might want to call artifact armor and artifact weapons. I don't know if you like to call it that name, but we just call it tier 3. It's more specific variations of of each type of armor and each type of weapon. A classic example, the easiest one that I could think of, scholar clothes or wizard clothes, as they are called. I mean, they're called in one place they're called scholar clothes, and in the other wizard clothes, which is obviously a bug. They're going to have an evolution tier 3, pyromancer clothes, cryomancer clothes, and shockmancer, no, whatever, the shocking build. With those, yeah, so this is going to be tier 3, giving you the same bonus and the same stats that the tier 2 scholar clothes give you, but adding another buff on top of that. Maybe also a slight increase in resistances, like in the base of the tier 2, but then something really specific. So pyromancer clothes increases the damage of all your fire abilities, and the other two do it the same for ice and for shock. And also probably increase your fire resistance, ice resistance, and shock resistance a lot. And all these armors, are going to be very, very specific for a specific build. So getting even narrower and to fit your build for the moment. They're going to be a lot harder to craft. They're going to require rare regions to be crafted, if not legendary. I don't know what they have in plan, but what our designer has in store. But yeah, it's going to be hard to find the items. Also, they're going to, in order to get the items to create those armors and weapons, you will have to be in a very specific location in the world, right? Right now, for tier 2, you can kind of be everywhere on Eren, on Mir. It doesn't really matter. In most cases, it doesn't really matter. You find these items everywhere. While it's not going to be like that for tier 3. Finding the regions for tier 3, Pyromancer is going to be only possible in the volcano on Eren, for instance. So it becomes really, really specific. Also, the recipes are going to be a lot harder to find than the tier 2, which are already hard to find. So this is going to be really, big end game achievement. Again, that doesn't add so much power. There is not a huge power gap between a Pyromancer armor set and the Wizard Clothes armor set. But still, it's going to be enough for really competitive players to want to have that set of armor if it's playing with a fire-based build. Other than that, we have herbalism and alchemy. So these are the other two big things. Not sure about. It's likely one of the two is actually not going to happen. They're likely going to be merged into the same skill, so to say. But yeah, alchemy, herbalism, creating potions, creating unguents. There was also an idea about creating drugs, which was really fun, but we'll see. Maybe I'm not like the real world drugs, like fantasy drugs. But yeah, it's going to be funny things. So yeah, there's this whole thing about consumables. Right now, we don't have many consumables in the game. You do use bandages, you use unguents, you have poison paste to apply on your weapons. That's pretty much it. So in that regard, the game is really limited. So consumables are going to be the other big thing coming in crafting in Fractured Online.
Awesome.
That sounds fun, yeah. We're gonna have to see how we're gonna name the electricity set.
All right. Crafting recipes are destroying the economy in the long run, as everyone will have the stuff needed for their own class at some point. You could potentially have all the recipes at some point. Crafting should be limited to a single crafting tree and a single specialization, so that one player could only craft scholar armor, the next player would only be able to craft cleric armor, and so on. That way it is handled now will kill the economy after 1 month of brain-dead recipe grinding. Already now it's almost impossible to sell anything, as every guild or city can produce almost everything they need on their own. Will this ever change?
So the only thing that we are considering for the future, and we've been talking about it in the team, is making so that you cannot craft an unlimited amount of items with the same recipe, but eventually you have to relearn the recipe. That's the only thing we've been considering. Other than that, by design, we are okay with a single character being able to learn all the recipes in the game, the same way that character is able to learn all the abilities in the game. Making it so that you have to create a second character to run the recipes and then a third character to run the other recipes. Does it really make a difference, other than making it more annoying for you, to forcing you to switch from one character to the other to create the different armors? Not really, right? So by design, Fractured is a game where your character can do everything eventually. It's just that you do have also progression in crafting, right? So you have masteries, and mastery reaching the highest level for a set of armor or for a weapon, particularly the tier 3, because the tier 2 not so incredibly hard. Tier 3 very, very hard. It's going to require, as I said, it requires really a lot of time, and you will want to specialize anyway, right? If you will want to become the Wizard Cloth and Wizard Cloth Evolution crafter of your guild, focusing all your crafts in that specific branch, and have someone else focused on the other branches. Usually, that's something that we think is going to happen. I don't think the economy is going to be ruined. Of course, in some ways, the recipe system will still rely on having new players entering the game, right? If there is no new players entering the game, then yeah, the economy would get stale. But if there is no new players entering the game, it means the game is kind of dead. So anyway, yeah, it's a scenario that shouldn't happen.
Are there going to be small-scale map conquest game mechanics? For example, supply caravans or something similar?
There is going to be asteroids. Asteroids are the thing where it's most of the PvP activity is going to take place. I mean, aside from the sieges and conquest and raids, always going to happen and be a big event. But otherwise, asteroids are going to be the places where most of the players, the competitive guilds in particular, but even small groups, opportunistic small groups would want to go to have these daily PvP activities. They're going to be small maps, like 1 or 2, from 2 to 4 square kilometers. I think that was the idea, and players are going to be able to take possession of control points in there at specific time windows, conquer the control points of other players, gain resources, gain gold, gain points for a season, eventually win the control of an asteroid in the end of the season and get the relics for the cities. Most of the PvP, not even so end game, like mid-end game PvP is going to happen on asteroids, and we really can't wait to see that live in the game, because there's going to bring a lot of content that you can do all the time, that if you like PvP should never become boring.
Yeah, so that's great. Also, it's asteroid, not steroids. I saw it in chat. Someone did we're getting steroids in Fraction.
No. Although
Asteroids.
maybe in the alchemy we could add the steroids.
Oh,
That's a possibility. Never discounted.
maybe.
How do you see the economy work if gear drop is removed and gear is extremely resilient?
Well, gear is not so extremely resilient. I mean, if we made it too resilient, that we will make it less resilient. Other than that, I know that now there has been some criticism regarding the mastery system making crafted items too resistant, as opposed, which is the total opposite of how it used to be, where items used to decay too quickly back in the days. We're probably going to rebalance how the durability bonus provided by mastery, and perhaps add different minor bonuses given by the quality instead of the item, instead of just a ton of durability for the item. Other than that, items, there's also the possibility of adding small durability losses when players go KO, slightly bigger durability losses on that. That is something that is on the table, and it's probably going to happen. I mean, still, you should be able to craft, since some items are kind of hard to craft. You should still be able, and then you can also, by the way, make them even more powerful and spend a lot of resources on your items with enchanting or adding properties to the item. So you could add up to three tier 3 properties with legendary regents. That's a big thing, right? If so, given that, your items should not be destroyed too quickly anyway. At least you should be able to play for 2 or 3 weeks with your set of armor. That's actually not many games where items do get destroyed, but in Fracture they will get destroyed. It's one of the few games where items do disappear eventually. You cannot use them forever. So yeah, we were not afraid about the economy.
Very nice. Any plans to add some quality of life features back? Sorting inventories, auto unload, like put near heavy materials to carts or buildings, toggle on attack should be on after weapon switch or dismount, hotkeys for weapons equipped, not primitive tools for mining and logging, add all cities filtered at marketplace, and column for name of the city near search item.
Oh, yeah, so there are some things that are already actually implemented. You can look at the market at the other cities in the marketplace. You can switch weapon with tab. A couple of those things exist already. Many other quality of life features are going to happen in the future. Like we do have a big list of quality of life features. I mean, I mentioned the shaders going behind the trees and so on, but there's plenty of others. Like I don't want to give you the whole list right now because it would. I think we'll be running late with the whole stream, but we know what is being requested. We also feel it ourselves as players. Why does the inventory of cards close when you pick up an item so that you have to reopen it and click 3 times every time you want to pick up an item? There are some things that are annoying. We know, we're very well aware. So these things are going to happen over time. We always have to split our time between quality of life features, development of new features, and bug fixes. So it's really hard to juggle, all of that and be able to. So sometimes the quality of life has to wait because releasing a feature or bug fixes have the priority. But in due time, all of these highly requested features are going to happen.
Awesome. When will there be a sim mail to ourselves, even if it's from a post office that has to be built in each city, along with a slight delay, not a real delay like we have in real life? Maybe have a Pony Express tap system.
No, I don't think there's going to be a Pony Express. I think for player, what was it? I lost you in the beginning of the question. It's about player mail, right? No, okay. So yeah. I mean, it's going to be probably, I don't know. We'll see. Most likely, we're not going to implement sending messages to other players because anyway, it's a nice feature to see, but as a matter of fact, with Discord and with the million ways you can communicate outside of the game, having and in the game with the party chat and the guild chat and so on, sending PMs to other players can become just a source of spam in the game that then we have to counter. Overall, we don't think it's a big priority for the game right now.
Fair enough. So, sorry guys, you can't just do everything extra fast. You must get to places.
And also no ponies for you.
No ponies.
Actually, you never know. You never know if we're gonna get a pony. Alright. Do governors have a privilege to claim a town from Arboreus or Tartaros when those planets are implemented? What about governors who have used that option already in Syndasia, but they actually want to play Wildfolk or Demon?
No, you can only be governor of one city. Yeah, that's already a lot. But yeah, you can have your trusted friend be the governor of the other city and be the mastermind behind it. That you can do, but otherwise no. You'll be only able to control one city.
What does it mean with seasons? Do you mean a season pass with exclusive items? This is a strange question.
Oh, yeah, okay, seasons. I think that no, there's a bit of a misunderstanding there. I mean, we're going to have seasons as in leaderboards that reset every couple of months, 2 or 3. I don't know what is the plan exactly, but the sort of around that time. We're going to have a guild that wins a season or an alliance of guilds that wins a season. We're going to have single players who can win a season. We're going to have rewards. We're going to immortalize the players in some ways and guilds who win the season in the game to be remembered and so on. These are seasonal contents. We haven't planned a system to accumulate rewards during the season, or we're not planning to ask players a season pass for now. At least not as of today. That is not the plan. So it's going to be content that is available for everyone to enjoy.
Okay. This question may have been asked before, maybe, but how will the cooking system be improved? Will dishes provide stat bonuses?
We do have plans to improve the cooking system. Right now, it's a bit down the list of priority-wise. It's not like a big priority. I mean, alchemy and so on is more important than cooking. We know it's very, very simple, right? So we do have plans to improve it. The original idea has always been to have a diet system where you have different foods providing different nutritional values, and you having to eat balanced. And the better your diet is, the more bonuses you get. So you don't have. It's not a system where you eat a fish and it gives you +1 strength. It's a system where you balance different types of food, and by doing so you get bonuses. If you only eat meat, you're not going to get bonuses. So this is the idea on how we want to improve it. But yeah, that's sadly not very high priority because we have a lot of stuff to develop. I guess you've noticed that it's not in the roadmap, but after full release, it's definitely something that we should do.
There's been some concerns with how Arboreus will work, and people have said that PvP will still be a thing on Arboreus. Is this true?
No, it's going to be, because if it's consensual like duels, and you want to submit to it, yeah, that's the only way that it's going to happen.
All right. Are we going to see improvements to the imbuing enchanting system? Fundamental idea is good, however, current implementation is a bit unclear and unfriendly, especially for the new players. Additionally, the system relies almost solely on third-party guides of proper combinations.
Yeah. I don't use the third party guys. I made my own spreadsheets on how to find the best enchantments. But yeah, I know it's complicated. I mean, it's the UI could use some improvements. You could have something that now is in the external APIs could be integrated in the UI to help you find what combinations are available for each type of armor and each type of property that you can put on the armor. So we do have some plans for that. That is also not so much high priority because it seems that it's. I mean, the dedicated players know how to use it. They do use it. It works. You kind of understand. It's not so hard to understand how to use it. So it's not. It's not a disaster. It's just that it's difficult to find the right combinations. So that is the thing. But it's so not so much high priority.
You got me at spreadsheet.
This is a big one. When can we expect Arcahem to get some love? The difference between Mir and Arcahem is immense at the moment. Many in our guild have exhausted all potential knowledge points from Arcahem and must go to Mir to progress at all. The resources are lacking at best compared to other continents, and many are bugged. Mir has dual resource nodes. Will Arcahem have them as well? I would very much like as much detail as possible on what is planned for our continent. Also, we built the highest ranked town in the game. All of what we could find around us, what little it was. I'm very much looking forward to the AMA this afternoon, well, today, and loving the game in general, so thank you very much for your hard work. Well, thank you, that's wonderful.
Okay, well, I guess whoever posted this question is from Cole Harbor, right? Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. It's really nice to hear that you think that is your continent and you feel that Aaron is your home. That's a really nice, thing. So first of all, let me tell you that I only agree with you in part in Mir being superior to Aaron. I mean, visually and in terms of variety of monsters, given the size of Aaron, I don't think it lacks anything compared to Mir. There is one portion of the map that is still not there. That's a big thing. That's the central part of the map, right? I know you see it on the map. It's there. There is a big island, but you've never been able to go to that island because, it's still blocked. That's the area where all the crystal elementals are going to spawn. We need to open that up still. We're going to do that ASAP. Also, we're going to add the point of interest pins on the map, the one that if you get close, you unlock them and then they give you knowledge points. And you can see the pin revealed on the map. That's a big thing that is missing to guide players also. Not only as a source of knowledge points, but as a way to guide players. Very important. And also the Legends of Mir, they are also going to come very soon. Which, by the way, they all exist. They all work. We have the Ice, what is it? Frost Wolf, Ice Wolf. What's the name of the White Wolf? Yeah, the Wolf of the North legend that 4 colossi. There's the Ice Colossus, Fire Colossus, Storm Colossus, and the Crystal Colossus. So these are the 4 legends. And then there is the Mammoth legend. So there's 5 legends that are already made. They have the abilities. I mean, you don't learn abilities from legends, but they do have their own unique abilities. They look amazing. They are really powerful. And they're all done. They're all done and working. We just are missing the actual altars in the world. So these things, I agree with you, they are missing. And I also agree with you that it's really bad that the 2 unique resources of Eren right now are bugged. And the 2 resources would be the sulfurite in the volcano. I think that if you mine it, you don't get anything. And the other one is the one in the very north of the continent, I think.
Platinum, they say.
Platinum. There we go. Thank you. Oh, it's not in the north, right? It's in the Jotun area. Platinum. Yeah. So platinum is also missing if you mine it. We know that's annoying. So these are the things that are missing from Eren compared to Mir, and they're coming absolutely. Other than that, please keep in mind that it's normal that at some point you exhaust the knowledge of one continent, and if you want to progress you need to go to the other continent. That is part of the game, the design of the game, like saying, oh, we cannot progress anymore on Eren, we need to go on Mir. Yes, that is exactly the point. Like that is a thing that needs to happen, and the people on Mir, same story, they will need to go to Eren. Also consider that the size of Mir, because Mir objectively has more monster than Eren, and the reason is that Mir is larger than Eren. It's like, I don't know, 30-40% larger than Eren. And Mir was our experiment, right? Mir was our learning phase. And we learned some things about Mir. We learned that Mir is too repetitive. It has only 2 biomes, I mean, aside from the Heartwood, that is a bit unique, and the Veil of Shadows, Whispering Woods, the Undead area. Okay, these are point of interest biomes that are unique. Other than those, you just have 2 biomes, the grassland and the mountain biome, which look very similar to each other. By the way, it's different shades of green, basically, and that's it. So in terms of like color variation and ambient variation, Eren is a lot better than Mir. Like, I'm sure you agree with me. Mir is also too big. It's just too large. It's technically problematic also because it's so large. It forces us to use gigantic resolution maps. It has issues. Like Eren is the new standard. Eren without the things that we haven't managed to implement, like the point of interest, of course. So assuming all of those things are in the game, Eren is the new standard. There is not going to be any other continent that is as large as Mir. And as a matter of fact, if we had the time, which I really don't think we do, but if we had the time, we would really love to destroy Mir and cut it in 2, add a bit to one piece, add a bit to the other piece, and turn them into 2 separate continents, because as Mir as it is right now is problematic, and also add the new biomes to these 2 pieces, to these 2 continents. So yeah, Eren is the new standard. And also, by the way, Eren has been generated with a completely revamped generation system. When we generated Mir, we used some external tools that we kind of integrated in our project. They were not designed exactly for our project, so there was always a struggle on very slow, very heavy, impossible to regenerate the world. Overall, less interesting in how it was generated, and so on and so on. Eren has been generated with a new procedural generation system written by our genius game designer, turned developer, turned shader artist, turned many things, Andrea. And so it's completely, this is a handmade, in-house made procedural generation system tailored for the needs of Fractured, that gives this much better output when it comes to the terrain and how the biomes intersect and how we can regenerate the world if we need it. It's like we can say, okay, this portion of the map should no longer have snow and should be all made of mountains, and then we can do it, without having to wipe the whole world and so on. So there's a lot of advantages to the look and the workflow behind the construction of Eren, and also the size of Eren. So yeah, keep this in mind. Eren is the new standard.
I'm
Completely agree. I also very much love Ahern. It's It's very pretty. I love all the ice biomes, especially the one on the far north. I love all the icicles in the ground. They look amazing. So, how many continents per planet are planned for launch? Will the talent points be increased to reflect all the additional KP one character can earn, with the addition of not only of the planets, but each landmass on said planet?
Yeah. So we are going to keep adding abilities. We keep adding abilities, and we do keep adding, of course, uh, knowledge points that can be gained. So you have new monsters, you have new points of interest, you gain more knowledge points. You can spend those knowledge points to learning new abilities. We don't have a plan to expand the talent tree. So we don't have a plan to allow you to get 70 talents and 80 talents and 90 talents as we do new continents. What we want to implement eventually, and we think that is actually sort of a priority in some ways, we want to implement ways to spend knowledge points, like recurring ways to spend knowledge points. Right now, you just use them for, yeah, as I said, unlocking talent points, unlocking abilities. That's it. But eventually, there's going to be more talent points and abilities you can learn, and yeah, because a talent tree is always 60, and the world grows. So eventually, there should be ways to always be able to get new talent points. It's like unlimited sources, very difficult, but unlimited sources of talent points in the game, and unlimited ways to spend talent points. For instance, to boost crafting, some aspects of crafting. That could be an option. You get the idea. But this is a mechanic that it eventually, and I would say not so far in the future, is going to happen.
All right. Oh, this one's hidden a little bit. The backend migration from the legacy JDK to Zeus is a mention, but isn't likely to simply be done in a day or two either. When is that planned to happen, and is there going to be an announcement in advance? Are you making sure this is a smooth process by setting up a private test server with a selected few players?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so by the way, just one little thing. It seems that I've been scolded by our game designer on Slack because accidentally, apparently, I've said more than once unlimited talent points instead of saying unlimited knowledge points, and I was talking about knowledge points, not talent points. Yeah, so unlimited ways to get talent. I did it again. Damn it. Okay, let's do the thing then. So there's going to be ways to get unlimited knowledge points and ways to spend these knowledge points, not talent points. So the other question was about Zeus. Well, apparently we do have some. Well, I know that we do have some Spatial OS developers lurking in the community. So it's a very technical question for everyone who doesn't know, which I guess is almost everyone. Right now we're hosting the game on the Google Cloud, basically, through Spatial OS on the Google Cloud. And we're going to migrate to a new system that is called Zeus, which is another hosting platform still owned by Improbable, the company making Spatial OS, our backend engine. So yes, this migration is going to happen. It's actually happening very, very soon. It's being thoroughly tested internally. We're not going to have like a small group of players pre-test and so on. We're going to push it to the live servers. Consider this is just a changing in the hosting, right? It doesn't really change the game code. It doesn't change Spatial OS itself or Unity or anything else in the game code. It's just where the servers are hosted, basically. That is a difference, right? No longer Google, but a company owned by the makers of our backend engine itself. So no worries about the game breaking up because of this transfer.
The roadmap doesn't mention Labyrinth, the Lich Transformation, farming, fishing, etc. Are they planned to happen past release? Have they been scrapped? Or when would they happen according to plan?
After full release. Yeah, that's so many things to do, and full release it's technically not so far away, right? So yeah, there were stretch goals, and I think we've always said that it would either come late in beta or after full release, and now I can most definitely say that's going to be after full release.
this one's mine. The Skill Spotlights post talks about 400 skills to learn right now. We are far from that. Is it planned to continuously implement new skills while in the beta?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. I mean, I think I played also before. We keep implementing new abilities as we add the new continents and new creatures. And yeah, that of course that is going to happen. Reaching 400 by full release, not so sure. I think we are about 160 now, something like that. They're certainly going to go above 200 by full release, way above 200. Will it reach the 300? Maybe. Will it reach 400? Pretty sure that it will not. But there's going to be also content coming after full release, so the development doesn't stop at full release. But I think that 250, 300 abilities at full release is already really, really a lot. So it shouldn't be, yeah, it should be still plenty of content, right?
Very nice. We can all expect some new fancy skills, some ways to spice up the meta for everyone.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think there was a question. Did we keep the question on poison and so on? Yeah. Well, I'm going to reply anyway. I think we kicked it out, but I want to say that we do have plans to change some of the mechanics of existing abilities like bleed and poison, so that you can make builds based around bleed, builds made around around poison, and so on. So there's going to be a thing in the future. So even the existing abilities are going to be. We're always trying to move from now on. Even with this patch, I think you've seen it in this patch. In this beta launch, and you're going to see that even more in the future. We are moving in the direction of creating builds, new builds, like not just single abilities doing something on their own, disconnected from the rest, but putting out abilities in bunches with a theme, so that we can create a new character template, like we did now with the Pyromancer or the Ice Mage, which are a thing in the game, or the Shock Mage, which are a thing in the game. We're moving in that direction, when creating bunch of abilities that combo with each other, connected, thematically connected to one another.
Okay.
It's your time to ask the question.
Yes. When we will get visual representation of materials used to craft, for example, armor, like a gold plate mail looks different to an iron one, same for leather, etc. This is an absolute core must-have feature of every MMORPG, and is really not hard to implement development-wise.
Yeah.
Say it's easy.
Yeah. It's not easy to implement. Recoloring a piece of armor like we did in Ultima Online, well, that is fairly easy. You choose gold, and the color of your plate armor becomes golden-ish. That is doable. Changing the look of your armor is not technically difficult to implement, but people need to actually do new models, which is not, or changing new textures, which is not. It's still time consuming. Overall, I would disagree that in most MMOs, when you change material, it changes the look of the item completely. So yeah, it's a lot more time consuming than you may think. So no, we don't. That's not planned.
The next question's my favorite.
Leafy greens and vegetables when?
All in it.
Balance.
All in it.
Balance
There it
the
is.
city
I know.
upkeep when?
I know it's you, Olive. Olive, I swear you're going to get your salad. I swear this is going to happen very, very soon. We just need to find the time to do those models, because we are really, really time constrained, resource constrained in 3D department. Even though most of the team is actually 3D artists doing characters and environment and so on. We have just hired a new environment artist who is starting next week on Monday. So next Monday. But still, this person is going to have to work mostly on Arboreus first, but as soon as all the environment of Arboreus, the plants of Arboreus, the resources in the world, but as soon as we can find some spare time, we will make those vegetables, and vegetables are going to be a thing. I promise it to you. Just hold tight in there. It's going to happen eventually.
We all want those vegetables. I much myself like a good salad. When will asset staff be added and other weapons, armor that we have recipes for but are not in game?
You broke up a little.
Oh,
No, I think my connection had a hiccup.
all right. Then I'll repeat the question for you.
I'm also
When will
going to
asset
raise the volume a bit. Go
oh,
ahead.
when will asset staff be added and other weapons, armor that we have recipes for but we don't have in game?
Oh, very very soon. Yeah, it's one of the bug fixes that we have planned. Yeah, it's not really like it's a proper bug that you don't have some you cannot use some of those. So yeah, coming really soon.
Asset staff coming to a Fracture Online close to your home very soon.
When can we expect martial artist abilities to be available?
A bit further in the future. So it must for most of our time we didn't have an animator, and that's a big. I think maybe I've talked about that already. For most of the development of Fractured, we had our art director do animations, or we purchased animations externally, but we didn't have an animator inside of the team. We do have this person now, but only since a couple of months. And our animator has to do a lot of work to improve existing creatures and character animations, and yeah, there is a huge backlog of ugly animations in the game that are being fixed. Once that is done, we will be able to start doing the martial arts thing, which I'm sure that the animator is also going to have a lot of fun making. But yeah, that's. I'm afraid that's still going to take a while before we can get to that.
What is this beta about? What should we test? Do you have the developers, have something special in mind? What should we test?
Just test whatever. We release a new patch with new features. You go and test those new features. Mostly, that's the most important thing to do. Is always the new things that we implement. And yeah, if I should say a priority, that we put out the temperature system and weather. You test the temperature system and weather. That's the best thing you can do. Otherwise, have fun. That's the most important thing.
Have fun. Even when you're testing, have fun. Enjoy your time.
Is it planned to leave the weaponry and armory as it is? Or will there be many more craftable items?
Oh yeah, I think I replied already previously to this one. Yeah, there's the tier 3 armor, the tier 3 weapons, and so on.
Perfect. When will ranger bow users get more ability love? I am a mage. I get all sorts of love, but the bow users have less than 8 skills. So I hear. I do have a bowman as an alt, but no much abilities love.
Yeah. Is it really only so little? Let me see. How many abilities do they have? Let me count them in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually 8. Okay. Well, yeah, it's very few. We do have plans, of course. There are other schools that don't have many abilities. Assassination itself hasn't grown so much. Let's not talk about necromancy, which I think has like 4 abilities. No, it has 6 abilities, so even worse than marksmanship. But I understand that marksmanship is like a very popular archetype in all MMOs and including Fractured. So we are absolutely going to focus on having more there in the next patches, and try to focus as much as possible on the schools that still have the fewer amount of skills. For example, there is also illusionism, which has illusionism isn't. Yeah, it's in the game and it has two abilities. Okay, I think that's the worst one. And by the way, illusionism is because it was meant to be in the Veil of Shadows on Mirror, but we don't have time to keep developing that huge, gigantic point of interest with the ghosts that were meant to populate it. They gave you the illusionism abilities, so there's going to be probably moved to a different continent. And yeah, we're trying to focus as much as possible on the schools that don't have that have the fewer abilities.
Very nice. Can you confirm the existence of the primal form of Wildfall? Will they be added during the summer? Also, how will they be different from humans? Will their stat pool be different, or will they have different passives? If so, will there be passives introduced?
I do confirm that there will be the primal form is going to be a thing. Primal form is not going to look like you expect, probably. I mean, I think many people expect that you become an actual wolf or an actual deer. That is turned out not to be good design-wise, game design-wise. So it's going to be more like you become a more animal version of yourself as a beastman, but not like a proper animal on four legs, you know. And you're going to have retain your abilities, so you're going to keep retaining your abilities, but gain very significant bonuses when doing so. However, and regarding the equipment, we are not exactly sure what if you. There's still up to decision in the the design is still not defined on whether you're going to keep your equipment or have a set of resistances specific to your primal form, and lose the bonuses, or at least lose the resistances from your armor. But one very important thing is that you will not be able to transform at will. You will have to harvest energy on Arboreus from crystals, and when you fill up your energy bar, you're going to be able to transform, consuming that bar, and then which you will have to reaccumulate again to be able to transform again. So it's not like a toggle where I can say, oh, today I play in primal form and today I play in my normal form. It's more like a ultimate ability to be used in a critical, strategically when it's more appropriate to use it. It's it's not, it doesn't come free.
And with a quicker point in chat from Sean the Weirdo, turns into trout, proceeds to suffocate.
Can you confirm the existence of the primal form of wild folks? Will they be added during the summer? Also, how will they be different from humans? Would their stat pool be different? Or
Very good question.
Oh, wait, did you just do that one? I did not hear that. Wow. You see, I blame that on you because you did not mark it. Because you stole it. You stole it from me. Okay, I got
my question now.
No, not allowed. Can you confirm that it will be 2023 release? We're going to see Wild Folk next, and they're purely PvE. Or will they be able to participate in Asteroids as well? If there was a big delay, could the roadmap change, or would you rather keep schedule?
No, I mean, of course, I mean the roadmap is not it's not exactly set in stone entirely. We're going to we're trying to stick to the roadmap as much as we can. In game development, you never know; things may always change. One thing I can tell you though, yes, Beastman, biggest priority, biggest thing for the summer. Release in 2023, definitely possible. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty sure that it's going to happen in 2023. Yeah, there could be delays, but yeah, we're on schedule. We could be a bit behind schedule in the future. That things like that happen in development, but being 1 year behind schedule, no, I don't think so.
When will the PvP desynchronization and lag issues be addressed?
We're always trying to improve. We know we have still a long way to go in making the game perfectly smooth, particularly if you play far away from from US East. Like playing from Italy is perfectly fine. For instance, we do have servers in the US East and play from Italy with like 100, 150 milliseconds of ping, and we think the experience is pretty good. We know that being further than that, playing from Australia, for instance, right? It depends. It's very subjective, but it can be pretty complicated for some players. We're always trying to improve. We're doing our best, and always try to improve. But it's not easy. It's a big technical challenge. But over time, I promise we will always strive to make it better and better.
Awesome. Are there any plans to allow players to disable some graphic effects, such as grass, interferes with wood collecting at times? And more so, the weather effects, rain, snow, and lightning flashes could be troublesome to certain players.
I don't know, but probably not. I mean, if there is an issue with like thunderstorms or flashing lights and so on, that's definitely something that we're going to allow players to disable. Disabling the rain in full or disabling the grass, no, not really. The game looks really, really ugly without the grass. I mean, the terrain looks really ugly without grass, so that's not something we're going to allow players to disable. If anything, we're going to make it so that if you put down or if a wood log falls from a tree, it removes the grass around itself instead of disappearing within the grass. That is something we should do. Yeah, absolutely. But removing the grass, no.
You're gonna have that grass whether you like it or not. Can we get more detailed presentations? What is planned for Arboreus and Tartarus? If yes, when?
All right.
Yep.
I'll give it a shot, see if my connection can support. So for Arboreus and Tartarus, those are both...
Oh,
Nope.
he froze.
Well, you tried, Wes.
That's working really closely with Jacopo. I tried, guys. My connection, short comments only.
Yeah, try again.
So, yes, there is more information coming. Both of them are on our roadmap. They're very high in our interest level and very key for the development pipeline. These are each going to have their own feature spotlights like you've seen in the past. And just to touch on that, we're actively working to get those feature spotlights coming out a little bit earlier. So, yes, but no.
Okay,
Yes, but
okay,
no.
Good. You made it,
Yes, but no.
you made it almost to the end of the question. That's impressive.
Big dates for you just yet. You guys take the next ones. I tried.
Thank you, Wes. We love listening to you, though. He did manage to get to the end, yes? Shall we go to the next one? Okay, yes, okay. All right. When might we see details about the founders' homes, especially the palace? Will this require a larger plot, and will said larger plot be locked behind research, or will an existing plot simply expand to fit?
Who replies to this? I know that Marcos or Wes. I think this one was also for you. Otherwise, I can reply.
Oh, you can reply.
Yep.
Sure.
Somebody do it.
Then I will do it. Then I will do it then. No, look for how they look like coming soon. I think some drawings have already been made. Illustrations, we need to put them on the website. I mean, Gamigo needs to put them on the website since now it's a Gamigo thingy. As for the requiring a larger plot, no larger plot.
Can users of their countries translate the game if they're for their language if it's not planned to be engaged in the release of the game?
Okay, that's also Wes. Do you want to try this one?
Yeah, let's give that one a shot. So, with the way this works is if your language isn't officially supported, if it's not one of the languages that we publish the game in, and you make a language patch on your side locally, you can definitely run that, but it may cause issues, and our customer support can't help you with those issues that are made by a local patch or custom changes in a way. So, yes, you can, but be careful with that. It may break your install, and you may have to run a repair.
We made
Otherwise,
it.
yeah, well, good, awesome. Otherwise, I don't think that Gamigo wants to employ translators from the community. So that's not going to be a thing. We're always going to rely on professional translators.
All right, and the last but not least, which pretty much correlates to the one just previously asked, and he has a short answer, so Wes will be able to answer it. Which languages will you add in autumn?
So that's honestly open to demand and feedback from the players. Take to the forums, take to your community managers, take to Discord. Give us your feedback on what languages are most highly desired, and yeah, we can take it from there. Feedback speaks loudly, and the CMs are watching daily.
Yeah. And just so you know, I absolutely want Italian. We all absolutely want Italian. So eventually, Italian is going to happen. Promise.
You heard him. Go vote.
I also promise. I want Italian as well.
Indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we went beyond the time frame that we actually have for you guys, and we usually would take some of the questions that you guys are doing in the chat, but you guys have written so much, it's going to be impossible to catch up to all of that. However, we are always excited to hear all of your questions, and we will make sure to continuously try to update you guys as much as possible with future AMAs and of course the streams of Council of Elysium, which we can probably sneak a couple of things in there every once in a while as well, as long as we have the answers and the proper information for you guys. So please make sure to keep asking questions, keep playing the game, keep finding those pesky bugs and letting us know about it so we can fix it and make the game exactly the way that we envision and you guys want it as well. You know, it's all about teamwork, you and us. So with that said, we're going to stop the stream here. We're looking forward to the future of Fracture Online and of course the future of our streams. Thank you so much, Jacopo. Thank you so much, Wes, and to you as well, Arcahem, for joining us today and of course addressing some of the community's concerns and their wonderings. And if you didn't get your question answered today, as I said, keep it up, write it up in Discord. We'll make sure to grab them later and try to answer as much as possible. There's a lot of you guys. It's not a lot of them, you know. They have to dig deeper for all those answers that you guys constantly need. So, you know, but we'll get there. So we hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we hope that you spend it playing Fracture Online. So make sure to spread the word, invite everybody, invite them to Discord, invite them to our social medias, and don't forget to press that follow button right here at Amiga Group Twitch so you guys can keep up to date whenever we go live, whether it's here or with other games. So thank you so much, everybody. Stay awesome, stay epic, and we'll catch you all later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Have a good weekend.